What's going on, people, and welcome back to the channel. So I thought I'd do a roundup of the January transfer window and what I think about it and stuff. And obviously Celtic did make a signing yesterday, the signing of Jeffrey Schlupp from Crystal Palace on loan to the end of the season. So I'll put both of them into one video. Overall, I think this transfer window was extremely disappointing, to be honest. Very, very disappointing. Selling our best striker and not replacing him, I think, is unforgivable. Yes, it's a good amount of money. He's 30 years old. Kyogo wanted to leave. He said for months he wanted to move on. You could say, well, what can the club do about that? But still, at the same time, Celtic had no plan in place for Kyogo's departure. I don't think Celtic made any effort, in my opinion, to get a striker in. I don't care what anybody says. I think Peter Lawwell is still pulling the strings at Celtic. I hate him. I absolutely hate Peter Lawwell. I hate the whole board, as I said before. They just don't have the same ambition as us. They think the league's over. The league's not over. What if we drop a few points and Rangers win a few of their games? Then they're back into it. Then we've got the Old Firm game in March at Parkhead. What if Rangers win that and they go ahead of us in the league? What are the board going to say then? 10 points is not a big lead, in my opinion. It could be 13 tomorrow because obviously we have a game in hand, but that's still not the point. People are saying, we could play Maeda through the middle, we've got Adam Ida. Adam has scored a few goals, but Adam Ida hasn't done it all season. Yeah, he's done it in the last few games, but the guy's not done it all season. Maeda's better on the left. Yes, we brought Jota back, but, Maeda's so good out on the left. I think we need another striker, personally. John Joe Kenny is going to be potentially our backup striker. That's just not good enough for Celtic, in my opinion. So disappointing from Celtic, to be honest. Yes, there's been some positives. We brought Jota back, after selling him 18 months ago. I didn't think we'd get him back, but we did. Obviously, that was good. And then, obviously, Tierney is going to join in summer. But again, we sold, Valet for no... Well, we let Valet go. And we brought Schlupp in. Okay, fine. But, we need a striker in this window. It's been a mixed window, in my opinion. A frustrating window, but not surprising. The club does it all the time. They don't think how annoying this is going to be for the rest of us. Nobody wanted Kyogo to go. If we weren't going to get a replacement in, there was pointless Celtic selling him. They should have told him, wait till the summer, in my opinion. People saying, well, the summer window's better, than the January transfer window. Yeah, that may be true, but Celtic had a choice. They didn't need to sell Kyogo, but they did, because all they cared about is the money. To not spend it is just absolutely unforgivable, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm very disappointed. I'm angry. I'm annoyed, as most people will be. I'm worried about the rest of the season, to be honest. If Ida gets injured, and Maeda gets injured, then we've got nobody. It's just shocking. The Champions League game next week, the board are basically saying we've got no chance of winning, so what's the point of getting a striker in again? That's just absolutely negligent. At least make it competitive against Bayern Munich, give them something to think about. Yes, Ida might do that, but still, what if Ida gets injured? This is a thing people don't realise. If Ida gets injured, then we've got to rely on John Joe Kenny, and that's just not acceptable for Celtic. I'm worried about Brendan Rodgers, next season now as well. He said he would stay the length of his contract. Obviously, next season will be his last season, potentially as Celtic manager. I'm really concerned about that. Like I said, I think it's Lawwell again, poking his nose in where it doesn't belong. The guy shouldn't be at the football club, in my opinion, costing us 10 in a row, years and years of failing in the Champions League, we were doing transfers fine under Ange. As soon as Lawwell comes back, it goes back to the same old format of not bothering to get players in, not willing to pay the asking price. People saying, the asking price is too high for Kistergarden, for example. Celtic have the money. Celtic can say they haven't got the money. It's just so rubbish. They do have the money, in my opinion. They just don't spend it wisely when it comes to the transfers. They just don't want to take a risk. It's annoying. It's frustrating. It's aggravating. They do it all the time. But yeah, we have to get on with it now. There's no point talking about it any longer. It's disappointing. It's not surprising. Schlupp coming in, You know, 32 years old, you know, loads of experience. Obviously can play in multiple positions as well. Decent signing. You know, it is a loan. You know, I don't know why Celtic couldn't get a loan signing for the striker as well. That would have dampened the blow a little bit instead of not getting anybody in, which would just annoy everybody. But yeah, Schlupp. You know, I think it'd be a decent signing. We need a cover for Taylor. You know, I was worried we weren't going to get a left back in. Can you imagine if we didn't get Schlupp in? You know, it'd be even worse this window, to be honest. Just one recognised left back in Greg Taylor, who, again, is not certain to be here next season. But yeah, I think Schlupp will do fine. You know, he's pacey, he's powerful. You know, like I say, he's played in the Premier League for a long time. You know, he played for Leicester and Crystal Palace. Brendan knows him really well. I'm sure he'll do fine. But we'd be interested to see if he plays tomorrow night against Dundee. That game's going to be interesting. What the fan reaction is going to be. Is there going to be a load of criticism towards the board? You know, I would show respectful criticism towards the board at the game tomorrow, because it's just unacceptable. The fact that they sold our best striker and then didn't bother to go and get a replacement in is just absolutely unbelievable from Celtic, but it's not surprising they do it all the time. And yeah, the board shouldn't get away with it. You know, enough's enough now. You know, I've said this for years. You know, I think the board needs to be replaced. You know, all of the members of the board are the same. Doesn't matter who it is. They're not football people. They don't care about anybody else but themselves and their bonuses. They're ruining this club every single season. Yeah, in Scotland, we might be winning, you know, but what about in Europe? You know, at least have a bit of ambition, you know, to push us on in Europe. They don't do that. They just, you know, they just don't listen to us. And yeah, that's my reaction to the transfer window. So I'll be back tomorrow night with a reaction to the Dundee game. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.